Guys, today we're addressing Mugwort dosages for beginners and what to do if it's not working. So these are the two comments I received the most on my other Mugwort video, and just to begin I'll start by saying I can't take responsibility for what you do with this information or what happens to you. I'm only speaking from my own personal experience as well as the experience of my many crazy psychonaut friends that I've met along my journey and what has happened to them with Mugwort. And some of my friends and I have pushed it pretty far and done it many days in a row for maybe like a month, doing fresh Mugwort and in really massive doses, and we were living in a mystery school studying lucid dreaming, so it was, and everyone there was a total psychonaut, you know, had done a lot of psychedelics in the past and was pretty comfortable with them. So those types of doses will bring about very strange, powerful effects, including nightmarish effects sometimes, and waking effects, like waking up and having float, or like I had like a glowing halo in my vision of everything and felt kind of like I was drunk the way I was walking. It felt really weird. Someone in the comments must have done too much because they experienced similar effects, but they also mentioned having floaters and other visual problems. So be careful of that. Don't do crazy amounts. Those problems all went away for me, you know, within a few hours. I don't know what happened to the person in the comments, but you can also be allergic to Mugwort, so be careful of that. All my best lucid dreams have happened on Mugwort for the most part. There's a few that happened without it, and then almost all of my worst nightmares have happened with Mugwort, and there's only, again, a few that have happened without it. So it definitely increases the intensity of everything in the dream world. So the first issue people are mentioning is beginner doses. I'd say, in my experience, fresher Mugwort, like wildcrafted Mugwort that's still wet and alive, is stronger than, say, dried Mugwort. This has been dried for almost a year now, so it's pretty old stuff. But if it's fresher, maybe do a little less. If it's dry, do a little more. But say for a beginner, for the average person that I've seen in my experience, like this size amount is probably going to be pretty comfortable. Like whatever you can fit in a normal size T-ball, it's probably not going to give you much effects. Maybe slightly more vivid dreams or better dream recall, but it's probably not going to be a mind-blowing experience. And if you're a beginner, that's exactly where you should start, because you should first find out if you're allergic to it, and then try this amount and see how you react to it. And if nothing happens, great. You know, be excited about that, because that means you're probably like most other people I've seen who need a little more. If this does it for you, that's also great. But I don't know, you know, it seems like you're probably pretty sensitive to it. I've never seen anyone that sensitive to it, so I won't be able to speak to you with any type of first-hand experience. So start with that on the first night and see what happens. If nothing happens, maybe on the second night, try the same amount, but boil it a little bit longer and smoke it too, right before bed. Drink it and smoke it right before you go to sleep. Don't do it a few hours before, because the effects will already start kicking in, and by the time you're ready to go to sleep, they'll probably start wearing off. You want it to like peak while you're already asleep. But try, you know, the first night and second night this much, drinking it, smoking it, and if nothing's happening, then try the third night half again as much or twice as much, and see what happens. And maybe, I probably wouldn't want to go more than, if it's old drier stuff that's a little bit weaker, I personally would probably do 4 or 5 times this much, but I wouldn't suggest it to someone else. And I've also been doing this for years, and I wouldn't have done that early on. I'd only do it now, after having had all these experiences I've had. If you're a beginner, I probably wouldn't do too much too quick. You know, maybe on your 4th night, if still nothing's happening from drinking it and smoking it, 3 times this amount, like 3 tea balls or like 3 tea bags worth, and boil it for a while, and boil it down. So, or use a small amount of water so you don't have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. So yeah, if it's not working, try smoking it as well, and try fresh mugwort. And if you find fresh mugwort, get a bunch of it and harvest a bunch of it and leave it in your room where you can smell it, and it's perfuming the whole room, because it can have a very strong scent, and sometimes that's all you need. When I go out wildcrafting mugwort and bring it home at night and, you know, have a big, say, paper bag full of it, like a grocery shopping bag full of it, and I just leave it out on the desk. I don't even make tea or smoke it that night, I just leave it out to dry, and the smell fills the air, and I usually have lucid dreams just from that. So hopefully that answered your questions on beginner dosages and what to do if it's not working. And if all this is happening and it's still not working, I think you should take a break for a while and then try again, starting off with a little more than you did the first time. Maybe next time, after taking a break for like a week or two or a month or whatever, start again with twice this much. And another thing you can do is find other mugworts from other apothecaries, herb stores, growing around, you know, find an herbalist, you know, there's a lot of herbalists online. If you just send them a message, they'll get back to you and tell you for free, you know, they don't charge to answer a simple question on their social media, you know. Okay, hope that helps.